Gabe was driving by in the truck one day and was introducing himself to people in the neighborhood because of a recent hailstorm we had, and he asked us about the damage on our roof and if they could do the work. And he told us he would work with our insurance companies. We called the insurance company up and asked them. We checked Gabe, the company THI, out.
He also explained what happens when hail that size hits your roof and the damage that can happen 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road.
And we'd actually saved the hail balls and showed him the size of them. So he was quite impressed at the real damage that was done.
Real damage.
I had gotten a card and my husband and I were hemming and hawing, and then the one day I walked the dogs and saw them working at my neighbor's, and I noticed that the workmanship itself, they did a beautiful, beautiful job. So I asked my neighbor if they were pleased with the workers and the crew and the salesman, and he was very pleased, and he gave me a brief on how he got his roof and siding done for free due to a hailstorm. And so from there we took it, and I decided to call Total Home Improvements, and they sent Steve Ryan over.
THI came by one day to introduce themselves, talk about the type of work that they did. They knocked on the door, Steve was there, and started pointing out some of the issues that we could be facing.
In late March of last year, we had a terrific hailstorm, and I actually thought the windows were going to break on the house, and started to get some leaking in the roof. And luckily, I met Gabe from THI, who was coming down the street, and he said that he could take a look at the roof for me, and he did a nice job looking at it and talking with my insurance company about the needs that I had.
Well, they were doing work in the neighborhood, and our neighbors recommended them. They said they had their roof and their siding all done, and they were super happy, and they thought you guys did a really good job. So we decided to give you a holler and see what you could do for us.
Well, actually, we didn't know there was damage to my house, and one day Gabe came in and knocked on my door, and I figured he's just a regular salesman. And so I talked to him for a little bit, and I didn't think anything about it. But later on, when I talked with my neighbors around, and then found out that really there was damage to the house on the outside, the roofs and the siding. And so I called Gabe up, and then we started really seriously talking about it, and then they end up replacing my roof and my sidings, and with my insurance paying for it 100%, with no out-of-pocket money.
Well, the way we chose them was, and we got involved with them, was we saw them at our neighbors. So my husband Tony went over and spoke to them and asked them why they were having a new roof, because it was sort of interesting because our roofs aren't that old. And they explained, what happened. And we never gave it any thought to even have our roof checked after a bad storm. So my husband Tony decided to call and have them come and check it. And that's how we got, you guys in there.
A lot of people in our neighborhood that were having roofs and siding replaced, so decided to see what that was all about. Went for the free estimate. Steve came out, checked out the roof and the siding, felt that we had damage enough that it was worth calling in our insurance company. So they came out the end of the summer, and so we decided to go ahead and have everything replaced.
And it was sort of a coincidence because I had just gotten home from having my van repaired from hail damage. And I thought, I was surprised when he said that you might be eligible for a new roof free of cost. And I thought, wow, I don't know if that could really be true. And so then the more I talked with him, I thought, well, it might be, because if there's hail damage on my policy, then he said he would be very helpful to show me how to approach the insurance agent and find out. And he was very helpful. I appreciated that. And so it was about a week later, my insurance inspector came out and went on the roof, and he said, yes, indeed, we needed a new roof, that we had hail damage. And so then Robert helped me out with choosing a certain type of roof, and And he gave me a lot of references that I could go and look at the different roofs in the neighborhoods, and so I was very impressed. They looked very nice.
Well, the hail damage beat up the back of the house pretty good, and it tore up a roof that was probably only 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah, actually what happens is you don't really see a lot of it from the ground, but if you actually get up on the roof, like we put a ladder on the side and got up onto the siding and looked on the roof, and you can actually see, if you run your hand over, you can feel little divots into it, and everywhere where the divot had hit, where a hail ball had hit, the stone was all loose there. So he explained how that would puddle up and wash off over time, but you could see right away that our gutters were already full of stone.
Yeah, and then you don't notice it until a couple of years later, and then all of a sudden you're like, why do we have a leak in our roof? And then you don't think back, well, 2-3 years ago we had major hailstorm.
With our home, it was just the wind itself. With the missing shingles, there were 6 or 7 across the whole roof. So, and then the hail damage was obvious to them.
They were there with the adjuster, you know, going up on the roof and pointing out a lot of the damage.
And he found these little pit marks in the shingle, and by that they claimed it took 4 or 5 years life out of the roof. Where if we had like 10 years left on our warranty, we'd only get about 5 more years out of that roof because of the damage.
They took full charge.
Everything.
Yeah,
it was so easy.
Yeah, they made it easy for the insurance company, and they made it really easy on us.
And surprisingly to me, when I spoke with the insurance people, the adjusters and whatnot, they were happy to be working with THI. There was no, animosity or, suspicion, or it was absolutely a wonderful experience on both parts.
It was great. I didn't really have to do anything. I called the insurance company, the insurance adjuster came out, THI came out, met the adjuster, they went up on the roof, they reviewed all the problem areas, and within, I don't know, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, the adjuster came down and told me he was going to replace the roof because it had been heavily damaged by hail.
He was very nice. He came in, he wasn't pushy at all. He basically told us he was not here to sell us anything, and he presented us with a plan where, due to the hailstorm from last year, we could get a free roof.
So they had to get a hold of our insurance man, and then they'd have to estimate, see what, if it was okay with the insurance and that, and they weren't, they said it definitely is damaged, it has to be fixed, so.
Oh, absolutely, it was fantastic. I mean, because they came out, they met, when our insurance adjuster came out, they were the one that met with them. Steve was up on the roof with him, he was talking, so it was basically effortless for us. They did all the work, so it was great.
He explained all the technical things we needed to know and all the logistics that we had to go through, and it really didn't sound like a big process when we first started, and in the end it wasn't. It was very easy.
They replaced our roof and gutters and painted the whole house.
Why, we had new siding, roof because of the hail damage, and actually damage also to the siding for that reason. Also, in addition to that, we've got, we put in gutters and some of the shutters, most all the shutters we replaced those as well.
Just the roof, the hail damage that was caused to the roof, and unaware to me because I don't go up on the roof every day.
We had the roof completely redone and the house completely re-sided.
Well, they were there at 7 o'clock in the morning, and when they're done they were all done and out of there, and everything was cleaned up and gone. You didn't even know they were there by 4 o'clock.
The roof was done in one day, which totally amazed me. And I went outside and walked around because I'm a bit fastidious when it comes to things like that. And the cleanup was immaculate. It was fabulous.
Like I say, they really know how to run their business. It was fun to watch them work, okay? We actually one day sat over across the street and we were watching Roger and Linda's house roof being put on. And it was like live entertainment. I mean, they worked hard. And it was incredible. It was really something to see.
Great experience. I mean, I just thought they were good people to work with. No matter who I talked to in the group, you know, whoever called us up and talked to them, they were all very polite, you know, very nice. I have no problems with them.
Like I said, within a 5-hour period, they came out, took the old roof off, put the new roof on, and cleaned up the entire yard, the gutters, and everything else.
Why we were just so incredibly impressed how they went around the entire house, the grounds, to make sure there was no nail to step on or a piece of shingle or anything. We were very, very pleased with that. And the other thing was, everything was according to what Steve said.
It's a smooth, efficient process. You know, the company really does it all for you, and it just, you know, points you in the right direction of how to communicate with your insurance company, given the nature of once they find that there is true damage. And it was a wonderful process to do from beginning to end.
Oh, I love it now. I think it looks great. It looks really good. They did a really good job. We have people actually come by and ask us who did our work, so.
Yeah, they did a very, very nice job. Very, very well done, very professional. The quality and the workmanship is just, it's superb.
It's a no-nonsense crew. It's not like these are a couple of guys they hired for the day. These guys come in, they've done it a million times, they know what they're doing, and they're very professional at doing it.
Top quality work, no problems whatsoever. I've been assured if there are any problems that they'll come out and fix it, no charge, and I haven't had any problems that I need to have fixed.
From Gabe, who you know, the manager came to talk to us, to the working crew, I think they are very professional. They did a great job. Whenever you need them, they're there. You ask them to do something, you know, it's done. One thing I'm very impressed with Gabe is that when you call him, he always answers the phone. You don't get, you know, oh, leave a message, I'm busy, you know, those type of things. And I'm very impressed because usually when you call somebody, you want to talk to him because you want something. And he's always there to answer the phone for you.
Both the roofers and the crew that did the siding were wonderful, polite, cleaned up. They put in long hours, there wasn't a problem, talked to us, you know, any questions, if there was any concerns or decisions we had to make sort of on the spot in terms of trim work. They were wonderful, couldn't ask for anything better.
Well, I think they were all, you know, like I said, very professional, in and out. You know, everything was done. They didn't try to nickel and dime you to death. If they saw something that needed to be done, they did it.
Above and beyond.
Yes, I have their cards at work, and anybody talks about a roof, I give them the card.
If you drive down my block now, you will see that everyone's using Total Home Improvements, so.
Oh, we've actually given them 4 or 5 referrals that have signed contracts.
I would highly recommend it, and in fact, you know, I recommend a couple of my friends, and they also use THI, and then, you know, I talked to them, they're really happy.
We have a couple of people that are getting roofs on because we gave them the card, you know, Robert's card and stuff.
Honestly, have not heard one negative comment. In fact, everybody's been really pleased, and it seems like it's been a chain reaction because since we've had ours done, people have approached us and asked us, and starting to see a few more signs in the neighborhood.
Not only would I feel comfortable, I've actually solicited other people that I know and told them about this company because it's one of the finest service companies I've ever worked with.